Hi everybody, Brendan Dennehy here from the Fatherhood Programme, the place where we celebrate the joy of fatherhood and all things paternal, and we love mums too. I must apologise first out for not being in touch with you for so long. It's been a very busy start to the new year in the Fatherhood Programme, but I'm delighted to be back on camera again. And I'm often asked from time to time, fathers and mothers approach me, and the theme of perfectionism keeps coming up. So I decided to take the top 3 themes or mistakes that I believe we make as parents and make this short little video about it. The first one, of course, is perfectionism. And I made a video recently about perfectionism, and I went and spent it incorrectly. So now I've got it right, perfectionism. This is a plague of the modern era, really. We live in this social media age where everybody's happy and smiley and clappy and everything is perfect. Roses around the door and picket fences. I don't know of any family that lives like that, certainly I don't. There's plenty of raised voices and raised eyebrows, as you can see in my house. So perfectionism is, I don't know quite where it came from. It comes from the culture that we live in, maybe whereby everybody's child is perfect, every home is happy, and everybody's getting loads of grades at school, everybody loves their job. None of these things are true. There's nothing wrong with aspiring to be the best we possibly can, but perfectionism is a kind of an insidious thing, and I think it's like the carrot in front of the poor old donkey. You'll just never get there. And we as adults, remember, are the primary educators of our children, so we should perhaps explain that sometimes we have a bad day at work, which maybe make it the child or the young adult voice to say, well, I didn't have such a good day either, and then to share that experience. And it's in the shared experience of all our imperfection that the real growth takes place. So perfectionism, let's not try and pursue it. The second one is listening. Children, young adults, mums and dads, we probably don't do enough of it. I'm surely guilty of this. Again, it's the frenetic world we live in where we're quite time poor, and your child might present to you with something with an ongoing conversation in their head, and it'll come to us maybe at a time when you don't feel you're ready for it. Those are the exact times when you should stop whatever it is you're doing and listen to the child. And even if it doesn't make sense, you should try and listen. I remember being about 12 or 13, and there was a song on the charts at the time called by Supertramp, and it was called a logical song, and there was words in it to the effect like the world was so difficult and logical, and they sent us to school to be practical. And I remember trying to have this conversation with my parents, and I remember having them having absolutely no interest in my view at that particular time of the world. I certainly wasn't neglected, but in that moment they weren't listening, and I was the youngest of 5, maybe they were just tired, I don't know. I certainly wasn't ignored as a child. But now as a father myself, I see the value of listening to them, because they'll say things oftentimes when they don't return home from school. And as parents, we can pick things up in our children way before anybody else can, even before the child themselves knows that they've gone a little bit into themselves. That's the time to listen. And you can create an environment for listening, like say to them, hey, will we go for a walk there, let's take the dog out, or let's go for that hot chocolate that we said we were going to take. And then maybe say nothing, but just being in their company, especially in the car, it's a great opportunity for them to talk. That's why I'd always say, if you can schedule into your week at least once or twice whereby you take them or collect them from school, you'd be amazed at what they'll tell you in that environment. So the third thing is buying them stuff. What we talk about in the Fatherhood Programme, experience, which is what all our children are after. They only want the experience of hanging out with us versus stuff. Again, it's the age we live in. It's tempting to buy them lots of stuff. If you look around any home, there's lots of stuff, lots of sports gear, lots of digital stuff. We live in a consumption age where we're buying, apparently it was going to solve all our problems. What the evidence is unequivocal about is that all they're after is the shared experience with us. And that can be a very simple thing. It could be reading a book with them or to them. It could be just walking to school together even for those last few yards. That's an experience. It could be watching a film together, sharing a simple meal together, all these experiences. And what all the data and the literature is saying is that when we grow from childhood into adulthood, the things we remember are the experiences we shared with our family, not the stuff we bought. So Christmas presents are abandoned quite quickly after the wrapping's off them, but everybody remembers what Dad said and what Mum did and the fun we had together and so on. So those are just 3 brief, if we could, in a perfect world, which we don't have of course, if we could just be aware of these 3 points. So perfectionism, don't try to go there, not for yourself and not for your children, you'll never get there. Listening for children and adults is just a great idea and a great concept. and shared experiences, as opposed to just buying them stuff all the time. So there's just 3 short little tips I said I'd give you. Remember, in the Fatherhood Programme, we're seeking progress and not perfection, and have a little bit of fun in there as well. And so thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to sending you more what I hope you find are helpful videos throughout the year. Bye for a while.